Good evening. Welcome to the September 23rd Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mayor Gentry.
Here.
Becky McClure.
Present.
Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Present.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
Do we have minutes or? We do not. Okay, we'll take this to the next one then. Department head reports. First up will be Police Department. Chief Morgan.
Good evening, board members. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 718 calls for service, and a total of 11 people were arrested for the following crimes. 7 for operating while intoxicated, 1 was wanted on a warrant, 1 for domestic battery, 1 for resisting law enforcement, and 1 for invasion of privacy. In that same time frame, LPD took 25 crash reports and sent off 2 handgun permits to the state for final approval. For training, September 9th through the 13th, Lieutenant Ryan Williamson and Lieutenant Jamie Newland attended the NTOA SWAT training conference. This conference has seminars, tactical debriefs of critical incidents from all over the country, and a trade show of the newest tactical equipment. September 9th through the 13th, Detective Tyler Winings completed the new narcotics investigators course put on by the Northeast Counter Drug Training Center. That course is just for the new narcotics investigators. September 9th and 10th, Officer Kevin Elliott attended the Trap Mate introduction class put on by Dynamic Police Training. This class breaks down every aspect of a roadside encounter, including the pre-stop indicators, PC and consensual encounters, roadside interview techniques, proper searching techniques, and identification of hidden compartments. September 9th through the 13th, Officer Grady Robertson became a vehicle CQB instructor by completing a 5-day instructor course put on by Centrifuge Training. The VCQB program has become the national standard within law enforcement community for vehicle-based engagements. Then one thing I forgot to put on my report for you guys was Officer Aaron Carlson, that we had testing for sergeants, and Aaron Carlson tested the highest and did the best in his interview. So Aaron Carlson will be our next sergeant for the police department.
Good.
All right, that's all I have.
Any questions for Chief Morgan from the board?
No.
Public? Yep, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next will be Fire Department. Chief Batts.
Good evening. Since the last Board of Public Works and Safety meeting, Lebanon Fire has responded to 137 emergency calls of service, logged 342 training hours, completed 58 commercial inspections, finalized 9 commercial pre-plans, and hosted 3 CPR classes. The information you have on the CPR classes are actually wrong. We've done 3 in the last 2 weeks. Wanted to take a moment and brag on our CPR program. Lieutenant Sam Doherty is our lead instructor for the CPR program. We have an excellent cadre of instructors. We've been doing CPR training for LPD, the Sheriff's Office, several community organizations, and they are just putting out a wonderful product of CPR certifications, and we're just very happy with their performance. The 3rd week of September, LFD hosted Stop the Bleed training. The training was coordinated by the American College of Surgeons and Ascension St. Vincent's. The training emphasizes the vital importance of pre-hospital bleeding control. It was a great class. We got excellent feedback. Several of our firefighters are now going to be instructors for that. The 2nd week of September, Lebanon firefighters placed the department's new Scott 5.5 SCBA air packs in place. This is our breathing system that we use. The new air cylinders and the system in general will offer state-of-the-art features for our firefighters that will help ensure their safety and health. This marks the first major overhaul in our SCBA system in over 22 years. Tonight, Mayor Gentry will swear in Sean Yancey as LFD's newest lieutenant and also lateral transfer firefighter Blake Gaylor to first-class firefighter. That's all I have for this evening.
Hey, Chief, any questions for Chief from the board?
I just have a comment. I appreciated the photos that you sent out with your, which gives someone like me a little better feel for what it is that you're explaining, but that's good. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. All right, next will be Parks and Recreation. John Messenger.
Good evening. Inwell hosted their Rock Out Recovery event on September 12th in Memorial Park. Had great weather. They had live music, food trucks, community resources offered to their guests. Also enjoy working with them on all the events that they've had. I think this is their fourth, fifth year. Really nice turnout. The splash pad, we closed it down last night, was the last night for the splash pad at Abner Longley. There again, we got to keep it open a little bit longer. The temperatures were up there, as we all know, on Sunday. So we're closed for the season. Now we get to do some repairs and get it all winterized for next year. Crossroads Corvettes hosted their car show in Memorial Park on the 14th. Had a good turnout. They'll be back again. They loved our parks, and that was the first event for the Corvette group that came in. Colonial Market Days was held this past weekend, and just a few notes, had over 1,000 people at the event for Education Day, which was Friday. There again, that was just awesome. Good turnout on Saturday. Great feedback on the event and how nice the park looked. Moving the date to October 24th through the 26th next year. Obviously, I think it's rained every year they've had that on Sunday. But they're going to try, so now it'll maybe snow. I hope I didn't just jinx it. You know how that goes there. I said the S word again, didn't I? There you go. Every year, I'm telling you. But no, they're going to move it 24th, 26th, maybe add a few fall activities and learn more about the 18th century. I think a lantern tour is also in the works. But really nice event that Casey Sampson and company puts on. Really nice, good turnout. We'll have around 300 volunteers within our parks this Thursday as Eli Lilly will be participating in their Global Day of Service. They'll be completing several projects throughout their time with us. Look forward to working with them again this year. Had 200 or 125 last year. And just think, that's like 12 to 1,400 hours that we're putting in one day. Can't imagine a company shutting down and having all their workers do what they do. And I can't tell you how appreciative we are. That's 3 weeks of work, over 3 weeks of work for all our staff to, obviously we keep really nice parks, but with their help, we can get to things that we normally don't get to. So can't thank them enough. I believe we're looking real forward to it, but it takes quite a lot of preparation to have 13 hours of and 300 people doing a lot of work. I think Kevin's taking quite a group out there to the bike park too to do some work, but most of them you'll find in Abner Longley, you'll find them at Ruth Brookshire Park, you'll find them at Memorial Park, and the trail. I mean, we were spreading them out pretty far, but they painted our facility last year, painted all our buildings, well houses. Just it's things that we won't get to or can't a lot of times. So again, I'm going on and on, but can't tell them how appreciative Eli Lilly is coming in and doing all that work in that community service. This Wednesday, the 25th, we'll be hosting a Learn Lilies and Lemonade program. Guests can stop by the Lily Garden. It's on the north side of Memorial Park to learn about different lilies and take some home as well. There again, we'll be splitting them. We aren't going to get rid of all of them. That was a bed that was donated a few years past. Looking forward to this event. We'll have park representative and our master gardener that helps us out on Wednesdays to take care of and lead the program and explain. Lebanon's Lincoln Days and Civil War reenactment will take place this weekend, September 28th and 29th in Memorial Park. Be sure to come by and see this awesome event. You'll see the North and South start moving in Thursday night, And there again, put your dogs up. There will be cannons going off and they're loud. So I'm sure Chad and company, you'll be hearing those calls. Again, sorry about that, but it is a great event. It's at Memorial Park this weekend. We recently announced our 2024 Pumpkins in the Park event will be held this year on Saturday, October 26th. Takes place in Memorial Park from 11 to 2. Guests can enjoy pumpkin painting, s'mores, making kettle corn, hay rides, and more. We'd like to give a special thank you to John Lastly Outdoor Solutions for donating the pumpkins. The cost is $5 per person, and we hope to see everybody there. Again, it's a real nice event, and looking forward to it.
Thank you, John. Any questions for John from the board, from the public? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next will be Engineering Department, Kevin Krulik.
Thank you. Good evening. Some project updates from around the city. Let's jump right into first, but certainly not the least, is Chadwick, the Chadwick Ditch Drainage Project that we're working on. We've reached out to the Army Corps of Engineers and anticipating a meeting with them on site sometime in October. So we'll keep you posted once we get some determinations from those folks on what we can and can't do with the ditch. Grant Street Phase 2, really not a whole lot to update you on. We're just working through utility relocation plans, but we do have an engineering supplemental, the first supplemental that will be up for your consideration later in the evening, just to cover some of the miscellaneous additional design issues that have came up since we started that project nearly 3 years ago. Elizaville Road, we are just waiting on a couple of the signatures on the easements. They were all finalized and sent out for execution last week. We've also approved all the shop drawings for the storm sewer structures and looking forward to get started on that drainage project here in the next few days. Also then in that neck of the woods, Elizaville Road and the Elm Swamp intersection upgrades to make those temporary improvements we put in place a couple years ago permanent. Our survey work is now complete and we're just waiting on preliminary plans from the engineering firm so that we can review those and get those bid packages ready to go out for the public to see. On the Riley Road project, essentially we're done there. We have a final change order for your approval later in the meeting, but that will wrap up that project and close that out. On Fordyce Street, a lot going on. We really kind of turned a corner last week as we kind of switched over from all the utility relocation work, the water main relocation work, and really started storm sewer. The road is still closed through traffic from Grant Street out to John Bart Road, and we'll be starting really the next 4 weeks is kind of the most disruptive phase of the project as we're doing storm sewer, and that storm sewer trunk line runs right down the middle of the road. So we ask for everybody just to be patient with us as we really have to do a lot of work underground there, and it's going to get a lot more difficult to maneuver. So contractors will do all they can to make sure people are informed on which way they need to go. But this is a situation where you may leave your house in one direction in the morning, and as the sewer crew goes through the corridor, you'll have to come home in a different direction. So we apologize for the inconvenience, but we're working as hard as we can to wrap up the storm sewer in the next 3 to 4 weeks and move on towards our more exciting phases of the project, which would be curbs and asphalt. Trying to get those things wrapped up. On the Witt Road project, really the only thing we're really working on there, the project doesn't bid till 2027. We're working on some sewer investigations. I want to thank Jason, the DPW, for helping us with that. We'll be starting to put together some proposals for that investigation work and get that moving forward. On Noble Street, happy to report that NDOT has approved our LPA contract. That has been fully executed, and NDOT has requested those funds. So as soon as that gets finalized, we'll be able to start work on the design phases of that. Keep in mind that's a 2029, 2030 project, so a few years out. 180 makeover programs downtown. The only real update to provide for tonight is the Boone County Cake Company. Happy to report that since the last meeting, we fully executed contracts and work has started, and we're processing our first MPO claim voucher on that project for that program. Stone Eater Bike Park and other park projects. A lot going on out there as we wrap things up. Very thankful. I know some people might not feel this way, but we are extremely thankful for the rain, especially when you had probably over $50,000 worth of seed and fertilizer on the ground, and we haven't had rain there in over 40 days. It was like a desert out there. So hopefully this rain will jumpstart our plant growth out there and move things along as we get ready for the grand opening in just over a month. We're also working on the portalet enclosure, approved a couple of weeks back as a food and beverage request. Later tonight, we also have recommendations for contracts on additional fencing and gates. We'll fence in the 52 frontage, provide a gate. You'll have wood fencing for about 500 foot on the centered on the entrance. Steel gates, and then more of a woven wire fence to the north to seal up the project and make it a little more secure. And then we're also putting in a water service line, really probably more for maintenance purposes than anything else. So the Parks Department has the proper water sources out there for when they need to do their maintenance activities. So that's also that low quote recommendation is on your agenda for later in the evening. John mentioned this, Eli Lilly Day of Service. We're really excited for that to come up on Thursday. We'll have about 100 people there. We've been working with the Boone County Invasives Cooperative. About 30 of those people will be led by six expert volunteers, and we're going to be doing some honeysuckle removal and disposal, as well as some Tree of Heaven spraying. Both are invasive species, and Tree of Heaven is of particular concern right now because it's attracting let's call it the next emerald ash borer. Apparently is attracted by this non-native tree that you see around the community, and they're trying to eradicate that so that beetle of some kind doesn't decimate that population as well as other populations. So we're excited to have Lily come out there, excited for Boone County Soil and Water, as well as the Boone County Invasives Cooperative to help us put that together. And we'll be out there on Thursday morning with about 100 volunteers doing the weed wrangle, as well as some additional cleanup in the wooded areas. Old Street Garage, happy to report our public engagement surveys are live and out there now. Consultant is planning to attend the home football game this Friday, and also planning to be at Mischief on Meridian in about a month to again further engage the public on what we want the Old Street Garage to become, what we want our next park to look like. Pickleball courts, we're just putting together bid packages that will probably go out in October and be bidding that for spring and summer construction of 2025. At the Admiral Longley Park at the Old Conservation Club Pond, a lot going on there. We've completed the railing, we've completed the asphalt path. Pier work started today, should be wrapped up in about 2 weeks. And then we'll be in there with the final phase is just to pour a final sidewalk that will connect the asphalt path to the fishing pier. And then we'll be wrapping that project up. I mentioned portalets at Stone Eater. We're also doing a host of those thanks to the food and beverage grant. One of those is also at the trailhead behind Menards. That is expected to be under construction in the next 2 weeks. And we staked that out, that location last week for the contractor. Also happy to report that after further coordination with the utility company, the major sewer interceptor project that will be going through that area, those conflicts have been resolved, and so we're back out for proposals for quotes on the parking lot improvements because we have found a way that parking lot can stay intact, and they will be boring through there, and so they can extend that bore and bore underneath the parking lot at no real additional cost to their project or ours. So we're moving that back out. At your next meeting, I'll have a recommendation on the quotes we received there. Let's see. Reese Park, additional portalets. We're doing them at Reese Park. We're doing it at Hot Palm. We're doing it at the dog park. Worked with John last week to get all those locations staked out, and that installation really should be starting the 1st of October. And I think that's, oh, no, sorry. DPW projects, really, we're just down to one final project for this year, and that's Anderson Lane. All the ramps are in, all the milling is complete, the island curbs have all been poured, and that will be starting to surface as soon as the weather breaks, and then striping right after that. Should wrap up striping in mid-October. The painting of the path striping, that material has to wait for the asphalt to cure for 30 days, so that'll be mid-November before that goes down, right before we get to Thanksgiving holiday. And that's really it. Leap District updates, really nothing's changed there. Still primarily working on Witt Road South, on completing that construction, and really just waiting for the railroad company to be there to upgrade the crossings, which will probably be in early November. And then we'll finish paving 450 North and 375 North. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions, Dick?
Kevin, I got one question. I was headed through town this afternoon, headed north, and I noticed that Four Fingers is setting up something for outside out there,
Okay.
and we gave them permission
Yes.
to do that. They have a problem with that light pole. And,
Okay.
yeah, so they're going to have to leave. Somehow they're going to have to go around
Yeah.
that light pole and leave about 4 foot on the east side of that light pole to make
Okay.
it, make it so people could walk down through there.
Absolutely.
Because right now you're going to have to split and almost walk out in the street, and they can't do that.
Okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah, so you need to take a
I,
look at that. And
we definitely will
some
take a look at
advice
that. It's been a while since that approval came through and came before you, but I know we made that approval contingent on them maintaining an ADA accessible route down the sidewalk. So
you might
I
check
will-
on them with that and
I will
see
look
how
at
they're
that.
going to set that up, because they don't have anything out there now but a rope and some barrels and stuff, and they
Okay.
need to really figure out how they're going to get around that pole.
All right.
So,
It's on the list. Thank
Okay.
you.
Any further questions for Kevin from the board? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next will be Planning Department and Bond Checker.
Good evening, board members. Since the last Board of Works meeting, the Planning Department has completed 152 building inspections, so we're still doing about 15 today with our 3 inspectors, so that's good pace. Also issued 64 building permits, with 3 of those being new construction, single-family homes, so still seeing some good activity there. And in particular, in terms of strong activity, the commercial industrial side is still has a lot going on. We issued 2 new construction permits, 4 remodel permits, 1 foundation permit, 3 improvement location permits. So a lot of commercial industrial activity going on over the last couple of weeks with permits being issued. In terms of new projects that are coming in, October Plan Commission applications, we have a plan unit development rezone. And this is, I think they're calling it Hickory Junction Phase 2. This is actually the 60 acres that's east of the field house. And they're proposing some mixed use out there that would have some multifamily apartments, some single family residential, and some additional commercial retail space. So that's going to be in front of the Plan Commission at their October meeting. And that would move forward then to the council after that for the PUD rezone. We also do have a handful of development plan applications that are coming in. The first one is Lighthouse Baptist Church. They've got a second facility for meetings and other small events for the church that they're looking to construct out on their property. So that development plan application will be reviewed this month. The Boone REMC is doing a major redevelopment of their site on Indianapolis Avenue to accommodate anticipated growth in Boone County. So they're looking to redevelop that entire facility, both replacing some existing facilities and then also adding additional facilities that'll be coming in for the Plan Commission consideration in October as well. Big project there that's coming in for the RMC. And then finally, Eli Lilly, the project's called LP1X, and it's additional investment that has been announced out on their campus. And this will include the enlargement of a previously approved building and then also an additional facility out there on their site. So that development plan has come in and is being reviewed currently as well for that October Plan Commission meeting. Finally, code enforcement operations over the last couple of weeks. 151 total activities. So a lot of activity there. We do have our second code enforcement person up and running. And so he's doing a lot of this site investigation work for Makeda. And then also 60 new cases as well. Still a lot of grass and weeds and trash and debris coming in, even this late in the year with it being dry. So again, a lot of strong new case activity there, but now with 2 people, we're much better capable of being able to address those things. So that is all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben from the board? From the public? Okay, thank you, sir. All right, next will be Public Works Department. Jason Lawson.
Good evening. Since our last meeting, the street department continued their mowing of easements and right-of-ways. They used 4 tons of asphalt repairing potholes. We repaired and replaced 6 street signs, and we continued the painting of the yellow curbs for no parking. Last week was brush week, and they picked up 35,000 pounds of brush. The stormwater update, the stormwater crew finished a drainage project in Adams and Madison's Court in Chadwick. It added drainage structures plus a new 4-inch curb around the center medians to better help with drainage and traffic flow. A stormwater update. They started the Dick Street drainage project, adding 900 feet of storm pipe and drainage structures in the backyard easement. And this will provide an outlet for folks on that down through there that need to drain their backyards and such. They responded to 341 utility locates. The next brush week is October 21st to the 25th. The inspections department did 14 SWIP inspections, 10 right-of-way inspections, 6 stormwater inspections, and fielded 1 complaint.
Thank you, Jason. Any questions for Jason? Alan?
I just a comment, and I don't know whether this is something that your response could take care of, but one of the stoplights, maybe it's already been reported, but it's at Arnie's. If you're coming east on Washington Street there at Lebanon Street, there's 2 traffic signals. One of them is the green light is working, but I think there's a red light that's out.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but somebody take a check on that. That's probably a state responsibility, but.
Yeah, well, we can certainly take a
Yeah,
look at
take a
that.
look at it. It may have already been reported. It has been out for about a week.
We'll definitely take a look at it, and if it is, we'll call NDOT.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Nope. Public? Yeah, thank you, sir. All right, next will be Communications and Community Development. Jill LePage.
Everyone, beginning with some unfortunate news this evening. Just this afternoon, after ticket sales were closed for Unite Under the Lights, we did not hit the threshold that the Chop House is hoping to have the event. And so Unite Under the Lights 2024 will not be happening as previously scheduled. And so still working with the folks, Brady and the gang over at the Chop House to figure out a plan B, a special night at the Chop House or something else. But I know, Alan, that affects you because you have tickets, but we'll be reaching out to all the folks that purchased tickets to be able to chat with them about refunds and other events, things like that. So some unfortunate news there. This is the first time we've ever had to do this. Every other year we've had to have more seats because it's been a fun event to attend and still would have been, and hopefully it will be in the future. But for this year, Unite Under the Lights is not happening. Also moving on to our intern update, Lauren Argate continues to hit the ground running. She has been out to LFU, the training tower there near the H box, and has highlighted fellow intern. Has plans to highlight fellow interns rather, and she will continue to have moving pictures of them, still pictures of them, and also podcasts that she's planning on recording. In fact, recorded her first one today after school with members of the LHS Ag program, and so had all of them around a table and chatted with them, did a great job. And she's continuing. If you remember last year, we had Anna Hale, who started this Learn in Lebanon hashtag website, that type of thing. Lauren wants to take that baton and take it even further. And so we applaud her efforts, and she's recording a video tomorrow. And so she's just going nonstop. It's been great. Speaking of the podcast, the interest picks up tomorrow. We'll talk to Gaylor Electric after the ribbon cutting last Friday. Also on the schedule, Fright Forest and Gordito's Rust Belt Tacos and Tortas. And also, of course, Miss Lauren's podcast episode as well. And so if you'd like to be featured, just like Brian did with the Fright Forest, just reached out to Love in Lebanon at lebanon.in.gov, set up a time, record an episode. This is a free service, and so we want to be able to share info, some things happening around our city, and send us an email. We'll get it rolling. It's all free to do. That's what I got.
Thank you, Joe. Any questions for Joe from the board? All right. Anything from the public? Thank you, sir. All right, that concludes department head reports. Move on to old business. I don't have anything on my agenda. Is there anything from the board? Okay, new business then. We do have a non-staff request here, so do I have consent from the board? Take the agenda out of order? Consent? Okay. We'll move to item B, which is street closure request from Clues Brews. I think we have Austin here. Austin, take it over.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Clues Brews, we are looking for a road closure from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. October 12th for our annual Battle of the Kettles Chili Edition cook-off. It'll be from North Meridian Street to East Main Street to East Washington Street, and then East Washington Street from the alley behind KBZ to North Meridian Street.
So kind of the L around Clues in the library? essentially?
Yep.
Okay. You said it was October when again? I'm sorry?
October 12th, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
2 to 10.
What was that again now? Can you go through that again?
Closures? The closure, from North Meridian Street from East Main Street to East Washington Street, and then East Washington Street from the alley behind KBZ to North Meridian Street.
So Meridian Street and then the half block in front of the library.
That block there.
Yeah, half block, yep.
What are the times?
2 p.m. to 10 p.m.
October 12th. Any question? Will you be serving, I assume we need to see approved alcohol sales as well on the?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, okay. Any questions on that from the board? Okay, we'll entertain a motion then to approve the street closure request for October 12th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. North Meridian and Washington Street as presented, and also allow alcohol to be served on city right of way.
Make a motion, we approve the street closure for Clues Brews as presented.
Okay. Motions, are a second? Second, Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? It's approved. Thank you, Austin. All right, we'll return to our regular scheduled meeting then. Item A, Resolution 2024-02, authorizing purchase of a ladder truck. Chief Batts.
Good evening again. Tonight, this is seeking the board's approval for the purchase of a new ladder truck. This is a contract with Fire Services Incorporated and also Rev Financing. This will be the leasing agency that we use to purchase the fire truck. This will be a 2026 budget item.
So it's a little unique. If you could kind of give the history of why we're doing this resolution versus obviously we don't normally do this. So if you could explain why we're doing it, that'd be great.
Yes. We are currently mocking up and specking out a new ladder truck. During this time, we had Fire Service Incorporated get a hold of us and let us know that they currently have a truck being built that is very similar to the one that we are building. The city or town that was contracted to purchase this truck has backed out. So it fits what we are looking for. It moves our timeline up 1 year. It was given to us at a nice savings to the city. So we wanted to move on this to transfer the savings on. And also we're going to have the ability to get the truck sooner than we would if we ordered it traditionally, which would be about a 2-year lead time. We are going to have to look at the way that we turn our fire trucks. Right now, we're doing it every 10 years because of usage keeps going up. We may have to look at going to a 7 to 8 year plan. But this is a financial benefit and also a benefit in the sense we are getting this truck a year sooner.
So it's a little unique also because normally, obviously, in our budget, we would have it placed there, but essentially is us recognizing that there's cost savings associated with it, and therefore we're essentially formalizing our approval to move forward, essentially, is what this is. So any questions for Chief on that? I'll have Rob read the resolution.
Only question I would have, I don't know where in the timeline of approvals and so forth, but the REV Financial Services quoted interest rate of 4.693 that's in the proposal.
Yes.
With the feds, reducing the rates here last week, is there any option of anything being less interest at this point?
That is an extremely competitive rate that the city is able to get. I don't see that the Fed reducing the rate is going to have a huge impact on that over the period of this lease.
It's also a 10-year term on it, right? So it's not just, so it's also, that's kind of, they got to project out 10 years on that. So the change recently is really not going to impact the long term on that. So
You're turning in the old truck, chief?
No,
You keep it.
we are keeping our current ladder 213 as a reserve ladder. Over many years, ISO has always wanted the city to have a reserve ladder due to the size of the city, the type of industry that we have. So this is an opportunity that we have that we can keep ladder 213 in reserve.
any other questions? Rob, your resolution, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Board. Resolution 2024-02 is a resolution of this board approving the purchase of a ladder truck. Whereas pursuant to the city's Uniform Development Ordinance, this board is designated the purchasing agent for the city. Pursuant to Indiana Code, on behalf of the city, this board can purchase goods and services without soliciting bids or proposals where there exists a unique opportunity to obtain supplies or services at a substantial savings. City of Lebanon Fire Department desires to purchase one custom-built 100-foot platform ladder truck for use in emergency firefighting scenarios. The fire department has previously been given a price that totaled in excess of approximately $2.3 billion. The fire department was contacted about this unique opportunity and has been given the opportunity by the ladder truck from Fire Services, Inc. in the amount of $1,960,000 if entered into within 30 days from being notified of this opportunity. This constitutes an approximate $400,000 savings to the city. In order to take advantage of this and in an effort to amortize the truck's cost over a greater period of time, Rev Financial Services has agreed to enter into a lease purchase agreement with the city. Therefore, be it resolved, this board finds that the recitals are fully incorporated by reference. This board approves the city entering into an equipment purchase agreement with Fire Services, Inc. to purchase the truck in the amount of $1,960,000. The board also approves the city enter into a lease purchase agreement with Rev Financial Services. The mayor is authorized to execute and deliver any and all agreements that are contemplated by this resolution, and this resolution shall be in full force and effect immediately upon its adoption.
Rob, resolution been read. Any questions, comments, concerns from the board? Okay. With that, I would entertain a motion concerning resolution 2024-02.
I'll make a motion when we approve resolution number 2024-02.
With motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll move on to item C, contract change order concerning Riley Road closeout. Kevin?
Thank you very much. I mentioned this in my report. This is real simple. This is the Riley Road project is closing out, so this is just our final closeout change order. It is for a whopping $2,506.72. That is a net increase in the contract from $473,000 to $405,506.72. Pretty pleased with that performance. That's less than a 0.5% increase over our original contract value. So yes, officially we're asking for approval of the final change order for Riley Road in the amount of $2,506.72.
That was within your contingency and all that, right?
Totally,
So
yes.
okay. Is there a number with it or just closeout change order?
It is just closeout change order.
Okay. Any questions on that from the board? Okay. You often have a project come with a 0.5% contingency hit. That's it. That's pretty good, right? We'll expect that going
It's
forward.
not bad. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
All right. With that, would entertain a motion concerning the Riley Road closeout change order.
I'll make a motion that we approve the closeout change order for Riley Road as presented.
Motions are second. Second from Dick. All fair say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is approved. All right, design contract amendment for Fordyce Road.
Thank you very much. Sorry, another increase, relatively minor, but this is for design services. This is a design services amendment associated with the Fordyce Road contract from GAI Consultants. This is a $20,000 increase. I'm sorry, I should mention that Mr. Kyle Pert, the bridge team leader for GAI Associates, is in the room. If you have any questions of the consultant, he's happy to address those. But again, fairly straightforward. This is just additional construction administration services that are needed to finalize the project. And so this is amendment number 4 for $20,000, $20,000 even. And that is within the contingency associated with the bond issuance on the project.
Questions, concerns on that from the board? Okay, we entertain a motion then concerning design contract amendment number 4 for Fordyce Road.
I'll make a motion, we approve the design amendment number 4 for Fordyce Road project.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's approved. All right, Grant Street Phase 2.
All right, we keep going up in cost a little bit here. This is another supplemental amendment to a design contract associated with the Grant Street project. Really, this has to do with the project is dragged out so much longer than we thought. There's a few additional right-of-way parcels. Keep in mind, the scopes and fees are written for that at the time of, grants are applied for. And so I hate to say it this way, but it is typical that we have these design amendments as we go through. This design amendment, this is only amendment or supplement number 1 for $78,009. It is original contract was $368,330. Design supplement number 1 is $78,009. Bringing the contract current total to $446,399.
Any questions or concerns on that from the board? Okay.
Just out of curiosity, that's a 22% increase just with this change. But what prompted this?
It's a lot of things. It's the delay in the project. Originally, it was supposed to happen with phase 1, so there was a delay there. Additional coordination with that and some development projects going on in the area. There were some permits, legal drain permits that we didn't know we would have when we started that we had to go to the surveyor's office for. Some things are actually in this are included negative, like appraisal reports were $9,000 under budget. In the long form appraisal reports, short form appraisal reports were $7,400. Appraisal reviews were down $4,300. So there's pluses and minuses in this. Some additional utility coordination expense that was required. And so it's a lot of miscellaneous things that just add up, but it was time to sort of true up those numbers as we're nearing the final stages of design. So again, the total this supplement is $78,009.
Kevin, do we have enough in the budget for this additional?
Yes, I'm sorry. I believe this is also covered in the contingencies that were envisioned associated with the CIP that we put together. This $78,000 was specifically in the totals listed on additional Grant Street expenses in the CIP project we put together that will be presented at the council meeting later tonight.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay. Entertain a motion then concerning design contract supplement or amendment number 1 concerning Grant Street Phase 2.
I'll make a motion, we approve supplement number 1 for the Grant Street Reconstruction Phase 2 project.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's approved. All right, a couple contract awards here. First item. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Kevin, do you want me to have the board go ahead and sign this? Or
Off a copy, I can run across the hall and do that. If you have a copy,
Tanya has one.
they could sign that. It is set up for signatures of the whole board.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Perfect. So if you wouldn't mind signing
I'll
that
send
before
it.
you leave the,
Yep.
the room, would be great.
Thank you.
Contract award concerning Stony Deer Bike Park fencing.
You just pulling this up. So at the request of a couple of people involved with the project, we did seek proposals for fencing along the 52 frontage of US 50, along the frontage of US 52. This includes a 4-foot-high, 3-board wooden fence with steel gates at the entrance. The fence will step back enough at the entrance so that people coming off of 52 would have plenty of room to do a U-turn and leave the site around the island at the entrance. So that was intentional. And then once that gets about 150 feet north of the entrance, then it converts to a woven wire fence. So we put this proposal out to 3 different fencing contractors known to do that type of work. And the low quote came in from Summers Fencing Company, which is who did the original perimeter fencing for the park as well. And that total was $22,462.80. That fits within the remaining budget we have for the bike park. So there's no additional appropriation needed. But again, we would ask for your authorization to move forward with Summers Fencing for the additional bike park fencing at a total cost of $22,462.80.
Any questions on that from the board? Okay, I would entertain a motion then to award the Stony Deer Bike Park fencing contract to Summers Fencing for a number not to exceed $20,462.80 as presented.
Make a motion, we approve the Stone Eater Bike Park fencing for $22,462.80 for Summers Fencing as presented.
Motions or a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that's approved. All right, now the water service, Stony Deer Bike Park.
Water service, yes. One of the things we've noticed as we are going through the project, originally we had a much more robust water system that we were planning to do on the site. That was removed in the value engineering phases of the project. But there's still a need for some minimal water service so that Parks Department or DPW, whoever may be working out there, doesn't have to haul water back and forth to the site. So this is just to provide a simple 25-foot water lateral and what you might call a field hydrant, one of those hydrants that will come out of the ground that you open and close. It can be locked. And so we went out for quotes on this. We pursued 3 contractors. We received 2 quotes, and the low quote is from AAA Plumbing for $1,200, 1200 even.
Any questions on that from the board?
You got money for that in
You
the
kind of went
budget?
up.
Yes, also covered in the contingency left on the project.
You kind of went up and then went down, so we're going the right direction. Okay. With that, we'll entertain a motion then to approve the contract award for the water service at Stony Deer Bike Park for an amount not to exceed $1,200 to AAA Plumbing.
I'll make a motion, we approve the water project to AAA Plumbing in the amount of $1,200 for Stone Eater Bike Park.
Okay. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, that's approved. Procurement authorization now for Admiral Longley and Memorial Park pickleball courts.
Yeah, the next 2 are both procurement authorizations, and these might seem like foregone conclusions because these were taken up at 2 meetings ago on a food and beverage request or at the city council. But I don't believe we ever formally got your authorization to seek bids and quotes for these projects. So those are the Abner Longley and Memorial Park pickleball projects. The next one on the agenda is for additional trail work at Abner Longley Park. So again, this is just your formal authorization for me to seek quotes and or bids, depending on the thresholds.
Any questions on that from the board?
No.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion then to approve the authorization to seek procurement for the Admiral Longley Memorial Park pickleball courts and also the Admiral Longley Park trails. Let's do
I
this
think you
one.
can do them
How about
together. Yeah.
So moved. Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second from Bill. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, those are approved. I think you're done, Kevin. Thank you so much. All right, next item up will be a surplus item request from the Department of Public Works, the 2016 Ford F-650. Jason.
So we took delivery last week of our new F-650 plow truck. So this is the 2016 that we owe that's going out for surplus. So I'm just looking for approval for that.
You guys all got the sheet from this. Any questions, concerns?
Nope. I did review it. The new truck is a very nice truck.
It is, absolutely.
All right, would entertain a motion then to declare the Ford or the 2016 Ford F-650 surplus.
I make a motion, we approve the F-650 Ford 2016 as surplus.
Motion's there a second? Second from Judge. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that's approved. And finally, our most controversial topic of the year that our Board of Works normally takes up, officially declaring Halloween trick-or-treat hours. I would recommend that we stick with tradition and do it on our normal day, which is October 31st, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Any concerns, questions from the board? Any public comment? Usually a hot topic on social media? No? Okay.
Change the date.
With that, I'd make a motion to set trick-or-treat hours for October 31st from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, trick-or-treat is set. If you want to participate, turn your light on. If not, turn your light off, I guess. So that's what I have under new business. Anything from the board? Okay, move on to claims. Entertain a motion concerning the claims.
I make a motion, we approve the claims.
Motion to approve the claims. Is there a second? Second from Alan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, any announcements or discussion? Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Alan, or Bill, excuse me. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, our next Board of Works meeting will be October 15th at 5:30 p.m. We are adjourned. City Council's up next.